You're watching Coast Life, where, we've told you before, we of course like to keep things fun and happy here, but we also like to keep things safe, and we want to keep you informed the best we can. So today we are doing that by introducing you to our friends at Atlantic Tactical. They're teaching us about firearm safety.
The use of firearms remains a hot topic nationwide, but if you choose to have a firearm, it's important to have the proper training to protect yourself and those around you. Timothy Otwell from Atlantic Tactical Firearms Trainers informs us of the services they provide to keep users safe.
So firearms training is the key element of what we provide here, from the basic training of beginners who have never held a firearm before, up to the classes you need to take that the state of Maryland requires in order to purchase a firearm.
While basic training is available, they also provide advanced training for those who want a more in-depth experience.
We even go further along into super advanced training. We have former SWAT guys from various agencies around the country, and we can take you anywhere from the basic pistol up to working with moving robot targets.
While training is the backbone of the company, Atlantic Tactical Firearms Trainers has other services for those in the community.
There's really no limit on what we can do here at Atlantic Tactical. We do other services as well. We offer fingerprinting services for all aspects of every industry, not just for firearms purchases or getting a carry permit or your HQL, but you can come in and get fingerprinted for daycares, for medicals. We do the fingerprinting for everything now.
Safety should always be the #1 goal when owning a firearm.
So to me, it's important for safety. I kind of correlate things to having a firearm as a tool of last resort, and I consider it an emergency rescue tool. Just like many folks would consider a fire extinguisher an emergency rescue tool, and they have a fire extinguisher in their home. They don't have a fire extinguisher in their home because they plan on having a fire. They have a fire extinguisher in case they have a fire.
Timothy shares his own personal experience with owning a firearm.
I look at a firearm as an emergency rescue tool to save myself or my family if we did have an intruder that had bad intentions towards us.
Owning a firearm remains a discussion for many as new gun laws have been released.
So some of the new gun laws that passed really pertain to where you can and cannot carry a firearm. And while some of those are very good, some of those are what we consider to be a little overreaching. And there is actually a court challenge in place that was filed the day the governor signed it. And New Jersey had passed a very similar law to what Maryland did, and it was already struck down by the federal courts.
Before obtaining a firearm permit, training is required.
So it's a 16-hour training requirement to get a wear and carry permit for the state of Maryland. We do them on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays. After your 16-hour training requirement, there's an application to the state of Maryland and fingerprints that are required for that. We do the fingerprints here as well as offer paperwork assistance to pretty much guarantee your permit will go through.
Timothy says to be safe while using a firearm, continuous training is paramount.
Just that safety is paramount and training is paramount. The more training you do, the safer you will be. And a firearm's like any other tool. The less you use it, the more likely you're not going to be able to use it safely. If you practice it and you train with it, it's like no other tool. It's safe in good hands.
Their diverse staff make them unmatched in the area, as each person has a unique background to bring to the table.
So what makes Atlantic Tactical Firearms Trainers stand out is definitely our staff. We have a very diverse staff and a very unique staff, and they come from various backgrounds, but the level of experience is literally unmatched in the area and possibly not matched up and down the entire East Coast. We have former law enforcement officers with backgrounds such as being on SWAT teams, federal retired officers who have been on the federal teams. One gentleman was LAPD. We have several folks that have been in the high levels of law enforcement.
Their staff also bring a positive impact to those within the community.
In addition to that, we have people on staff that are counselors in school systems. They work in different ways where they're working with troubled youths and things like that. So we understand the day-to-day basis. We have former educators here. We have a team that is really second to none. We have certified attorneys on staff.
Not only are they trained within their field, but they each have different levels of experience that make Atlantic Tactical Firearms the ideal place to go.
Our team is built around a group of people that bring so many different levels of experience to the table, and with that experience we can make this a one-stop shop. You can come in here, leave the same day, and have all your paperwork filed, all your fingerprints done, and everything completed to go up to the road to get your permits.
It's important to remember that safety and continual knowledge should always be done when one possesses a firearm.
Oh, very cool, very informative.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.